Welcome back everybody. It is actually Monday, July the 20th, and I am trying to finish up and close out episode 45 part 2. I do want to share with you that everything that you originally saw at the beginning of the video is from Saturday. I didn't do any recording on Sunday because of all the calamity of issues that I will explain, and I did not get finished with everything until it was well after dark, and I did not want to do a spotlight video. So I will run through everything, show you how I did it, take you through everything in the gray water tank installation that you have not seen in part 1, cover it all in part 2, and we'll get her done. One of the other things that I want to say is, guys, if you're doing this, you're going to run into problems, you're going to run into issues, you're going to run into challenges. You're going to be faced with trying to do things that you've never done before. Think about it, plan it out, do some research, don't give up, figure it out, and it will happen. Make your dreams come true. Don't listen to all the naysayers telling you should do it this way and that way. It is your build. Make it what you want it. And with that, I will take you now through time, starting with Saturday, and finish up where part 1 left off, and then go into the things that I recorded today to show you what I did on Sunday, and then close it out with some things that I did today to take you through the entire build process of the gray water tanks. With that said, let's take a walk. Let's go see what I got done. Alright, well, this pissed me off because everything has been a total fail on the weather. I have lost 2 hours waiting on shit to happen that never happened, so I have decided to go ahead and try to pull this together. And if it does start coming a downpour, then I will take it inside and wait until the downpour is over and continue it. I'm really leery about letting water build up on the inside of this thing. I've got everything painted, protected, but things will get scratched, things will open up, and I don't want the moisture to get trapped inside of there and create some rust problems down the road. So I'm going to try to get this pulled together as quick as I can. We'll see how long it takes. I'm going to put this on time lapse just to give you an idea of how it's going to work. I'm going to put the side panels on. They're flexible, so they'll allow me to get my side panel insulation and my tank in place while they're still flopping around. Once they're in, then I'll be able to come down here and I'll be able to fit the end panel back here for the back, the thick one, the 16 gauge one. Get that in because it's got to go around the pipe for the inlet on the tank. And then once I get that done, I'll go and do the other side. Then I'll tie in these back corners with the vertical aluminum that I have here and get that all stable and stationary. I can't do anything here until I get these in, because this is the rivet holes that go through these that tie it all together. And then once all of the side panels and the side corners are in, then I'll work on building out the top and putting the top in. But that's my plan on putting this puzzle together. It may change, and you'll see how it works as we go through the time lapse, but I'm going to put this on time lapse and we're going to see if we can get this thing done before the bottom drops out. Alright guys, I wanted to come out of time lapse and give you an update and show you what I got done so far and try to explain what's going on. My battery's about to die too, so I need to get it charged back up, and this thing's really hot. So the first thing I did was put the side panel on, and I did all the rivets at the bottom where I didn't have my vertical plates that came up for the reinforcement. Once I got everything secured there, then I put those vertical reinforcement plates that you see right here, and then at that point I'm able to put my corners in place and get them riveted in. I have to be careful, very careful, and not screw up and put a rivet somewhere where I have an overlapping piece of metal or something that needs to be riveted through there as well. One of the other things that I want to show you is in some places I'm having to use these longer rivets like this as opposed to like that. And the reason being is because of the thickness, because I've got the 1/8 inch angle iron, and then I've got the 16 gauge galvanneal, and then I've got the sheet metal. So I'm using these rivets in corners in places where it's really thick so that I can make sure I get a good grab. It's really solid right now. One of the other challenges that I'm having is that in some cases I'm having a really hard time lining this thing up, but it's coming together. I just wanted to bring this up. I'm going to shut this down for a minute, get my battery charged, and then put it back on time lapse and finish it up. Well, there it is, y'all. I decided that I wasn't going to wait for my battery to charge based on the unpredictable nature of the weather. So while I was waiting for it to charge, I went ahead and put this thing together. There it is, all finished, all riveted down. Everything is put together. It was not fun. It was not easy. I had to re-drill a whole bunch of holes because I just could not get everything to line back up the way that it came apart. Don't know why, but well, that is what it is. So when I do the next one, I am going to drill it and build it at the same time and not have to worry about that. So anyway, let me give you a walk around and show you what I got going on, and show you what it looks like all finished. The first thing that comes to mind to me when I look at this thing when it's all finished is one of those old trunks with metal corners and all of that kind of stuff. Well, this water tank is definitely protected, that's for sure. So let's look at it and take a walk around. So again, this is the inlet side right here. This will screw into the pipe that comes from here into the permanent fixtures that's already in the bus. This is the wires for my sender unit. I've got my corners all riveted in. They're all in place. This is my 16 gauge. This is the front of the box. I've got my roof in. I got my corners up here. Got everything riveted down here, riveted there. Come around the back side. You saw me do this earlier. Got this in place. This is my drain pipe right here. This is the wires for my heating pad. Not going to do anything with... Actually, you know what? I was thinking about something based on the conversation that we had earlier. Is that the water inside these is my drain pipe. I don't want water. I was going to use this as the balance tube, but I don't want water in here and have it freeze, even if I put heating pads on it. So what I think I might do is use one of these to create a balance tube from one tank to the other, and then put a shutoff valve on the output of the tank on each side, so that the drain pipe, which is what this really is, this drain never has any water in it, so that if I need to drain it, no matter how cold it is, I can always drain my pipe. So I might revisit that and redo that and put something here, and I'll just use 1/2 inch PEX like I did on the inside for my freshwater tanks to create that balance. And if it freezes, it freezes. I don't care. PEX is not going to blow up on me. I'll insulate it a little bit, but anyway, that just one of those things that I thought about while I was building this. Come around, this is the back side. It doesn't look any different from the front side. This is going to go in between my frame rail and my underbody storage. And now that you can see what this looks like when it's all finished. Oh, one of the other things I want to point out is like all these openings that you see around here in all these places, not here, but in right there and back here where my drain comes in. Once I get all my wiring in place and everything is situated and I don't have anything else to worry about, I'm going to fill those up with spray foam and close those off, so because I don't want water just like blowing into this and penetrating into the whole inside of this and freezing and rusting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do what I can to seal this up. Like I got that big gaping mismatch there that wasn't there before, but that's what it looks like now. Seal those things up and try to do everything I can to more or less prevent water from getting inside the box, because that's what I don't want. So what I want to do now is I want to take you under the bus, show you where it's going to go and how it's going to fit, and then I'll wrap it up for today. And tomorrow I have to drill 4 3/8 inch holes and cut some all thread, and we'll be able to mount this up and tie in the plumbing. So for right now, let's go under the bus and let me show you what we got going on under there. So this particular location right here, this solid steel, it's 1/4 inch steel frame rail. This is going to be the back of the tank. I'm going to drop all thread from there down on each side to support the tank off of that. Come back here, I've got one right here, and I'm going to drop all thread down here and support the back end of the tank. And then if we come under here and look, you can see that I've got this is the permanent part of the plumbing fixture that I'm going to be tying the tank into. It's going to come from here to the inside of the tank and more or less tie it all together. So I've got to glue something in there, and then I've got to tie that in, and then this will have all thread coming down from here, all thread coming down from here on this side right here, and over there it come down and then support underneath. So I've got this right here that will be supporting one side, and I've got this on the other side. It's going to fit right up inside the center of there. It's going to be tight, but it's going to fit. And then I'll just tie my plumbing in right here, and then on the other side the drain will come underneath the frame rails and tie into the tank. So let me show you what it looks like on the other side. So this is the tank elevated in place on this side. The one thing that I do want to point out is this is not the final resting place of this tank. It's going to be much further forward. It's going to go all the way to the front where that steel frame rail is, and then I'll run from there, because that is the output of the shower, into where you see those marks. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're right there on the tank. That's where the input from the shower will go, just like on the other. This will be an exact duplicate of the other side, and once I get it built, I'll be able to drop it up. As you can see, I've got that foam board insulation up there. That was my spacer to make sure that I had enough room to get a positive drain angle. My drain coming out of my shower is all permanent, it's done, and I've got my underbody storage on this side as well to protect the outside, frame rail on the inside. So this side over here will be an exact duplicate of this side over here. Once I get both of these installed, then I can tie the drain pipes together between them and run it out and create me a gray water drain on the right side of the bus or left side of the bus, depending on which way you want to look at it. So that's what it looks like under here. I can't wait to get that finished box under here, show you what it looks like. I will do that tomorrow. It will be in, and then I'll do the other side. Hopefully it'll go a lot quicker than this one. I've been working on this side for over a week. So my last video went out, I don't remember the date, I think July 7th. This is the 17th, so 10 days, and during that entire time frame, this is what I've been working on, other than a few other things that my next video will introduce you to. But for right now, this is the biggest thing, and I just wanted to give you a look at what it looks like underneath before I get it in, so you can see how it's going to work. So with that, that's a wrap for today. I am going to call it, and then I'll be back tomorrow drilling some holes and getting that tank installed. Alright guys, I'm back. Holy cow. It's actually Monday. It's after work. I was hoping to be able to do this yesterday, but well, I have to tell you what a Charlie Foxtrot day it was yesterday and show you some things that created some serious problems for me. My whole intent was to get that tank that I built installed, get it all plumbed in, get everything drilled out, get it supported, and be able to show you what the finished project looks like. Well, I have to share with you, well, none of that happened. So let's go take a deep dive underneath the bus and let me show you what I did and did not get done. All right guys, here I am underneath the bus. This is where that tank I built was supposed to be. As you can well see, it's not there, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. But there is the outlet of the plumbing that goes up to my urine diverter. Follow it back and around, and that's the outlet from my vanity and my kitchen sink, and it's all supposed to be tied in and draining into a gray water tank that's supposed to be sitting right here. And as you can well tell, not there. I will tell you that the reason it is not there is because, in typical fashion, when I work on stuff, I always tend to lose sight of some of the details, and I always make my tolerances way too tight. And the reason that that tank is not in this location is because of those three bolt holes right, or bolt heads right there. It did not have enough clearance to go through them or go beyond them, and when I was jacking the water tank up into place, it caught on those, and as you can well see right there, there is the result of the damage to my underbody storage, because it jacked them up. I was jacking it, didn't realize it, and boom, it cut into it. I completely, totally, and unequivocally missed that those were sticking out from the side of the frame well when I did all my dimensioning and measured and cut. If those hadn't been there, it would have went right in, but unfortunately they were there, and it kept everything from going. So I could not put it in right here. Now, fortunately for me, the other side of the bus, I have to assume it's really interesting, but I personally think that the body of this bus is not centered over these frame rails. And the reason that I say that is that this underbody storage unit is installed in a specific location. It is the same width, depth, and height as the one on the other side. However, when I measure the distance from this storage unit to the frame rail, and I go to the other side and do the exact same thing, totally different dimensions. So let's look at the result. There is that underbody storage tank that I built that was supposed to be on the other side. There was enough clearance and enough of a difference on this side for me to actually get that thing up in there and get it mounted. That was a huge asset for me, because I did not want to have to rebuild these tanks, the enclosures. But as you can see, I've got these scissor jacks that I used and jacked the tank up into place, because it is way too heavy for me and my old age to pick it up, put it up, hold it up, all of that stuff. So I use these jacks and more or less just lifted it into the spot, got it tied up against the bottom of the body, and it's in place. The other thing that I want to show you that I did was I did get my plumbing in place. This is my shower drain. It comes down. As you can see, it goes all the way over and it's tied in, and that is the water inlet. Notice the ribs on the HEPA is down. So everything is done and in place on this side. Tank is up and in. It's not completely secured in place. What I had to do, because I was so tight on tolerances, I was originally planning on having all thread going up between this side and that side. Well, that's not happening. So what I had to do here in the back is I got a 6-foot piece of angle iron and got it to run across. It will come in under the tank. The back of the other tank will sit right here. This one goes up here. Tighten it down, hold it into place, secure it up so it's tight against the floor. One of the other things that I will be doing and making sure is that I brace this off and provide positive support so none of this under here moves, and get that all secured. So the water tank did go in on that side of the bus, thankfully. So instead of it being on the sink side, it is on the shower side. So I got it in. So one of the things that I did was that I had to drill through, and this is a 1/4 inch frame plate, and they use this 1/4 inch frame plate, and this is what secures the body of the bus to the frame. And they're like I don't know, every 2 feet, maybe a little bit more, all the way up from the back to the front of the bus, and they're locked in. And so I'm using these rails to provide the drill points and the support for my tanks, because it's much thicker. The only way I could do anything on these would be to put rib nuts in, and this is thin, and I'm not going to trust that with a 42-gallon water tank hanging from it. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm using the all thread. I've got 3 pieces of all thread on here. I am going to it'll be easier to show you on this side. I am going to be figuring out a way to positively affix and secure this to the bottom of the storage tank. I'm not going to do it. This is not structural, and the only reason that I'm going to secure it to that is just to keep it from flopping around and moving, and add a little bit of extra support, but it won't be much. And I'll put something on the top side to prevent it from tearing and stuff. I'll have some steel on top of it. But anyway, so I did actually yesterday get this tank installed. I did get it in place. I did get the plumbing tied in and got everything the way that I wanted. Not the side I wanted, but I got everything the way that I wanted. So I'm going to take you around to the back side of the tank and show you what it looks like back there. All right, so this is one side of the down rod that will support the back end of the tank. I've got this lined up, and I've got another piece of angle iron that actually goes underneath here that supports this. You can see I've got 3 holes here. I'm going to be bolting that to that angle iron that goes from here to the one on the other side. Can't see it. I'll go around the other side so you can see that. And the whole point to that is to tie it down and lock it into place so that, God help me, I can accelerate at rocket speed, that this thing don't come flying off the rack. But I'll show you that what it looks like in a future update on the tank installs. Won't be done today, but that's what I did there. I'll be doing the same thing on the other side as well. Here is my air vent that I was telling you about. Comes across. I think I got it way too long. But we'll figure that out when I get the other tank in, and I'll dress that up and figure out what I need to do there. But this is the other side. So I've got a drop rod just like this on the other side. I've got an angle iron that goes across, it supports the tank from underneath and pulls it up tightly. Right now I've got these jacks in place. These jacks are what's holding it up against the floor of the bus, and that is what I'm using to be able to set my measurements and make sure that I get everything the way that I want it to be, and that I don't have to worry about. Like I said, I am going to figure out a way Don't have it done yet, don't have it even figured out yet, but I'm going to figure out a way to brace this so that none of this stuff moves, especially these angle iron or drop rods. They're 3/8 all thread. They're strong enough to support the weight of the tank, but if I get a lot of movement on them, I don't want them fracturing, cracking, breaking, or whatever. So I'm going to make it so they don't move, and all they are is supporting the weight. So that said, let me run this around to the other side of the bus and the other side of the tank to show you what it looks like over there. All right, here we are on the other side. This is the drop rod. It comes down. As you can see, it goes up into the same frame rail. I actually marked the back of the frame to show where I wanted my tank to line up so that it would be in line with this. Gave me a reference point, and I wanted to make sure that that was in place, and that kept the front of the tank in line with that rail so that I could run that angle iron underneath here and provide that support. So here's the other side. It comes up on this. This is a stop, so I raise this up, and then I tighten the frame rail up to the tank and make sure that it's tight and secure against the top. Once that's in place, then I drop this down and tighten it and secure it. I've got some hardware over here using washers and lock washers. I got them off because I took this thing off so that I could sand it and prep it and get it ready for paint, which is one of the things I'm going to do this evening. These holes right here are what I was telling you about. So what's going to happen is these are going to go inside of here like so. That nut will be on this side, and what it does is it provides a space so that it lines up correctly, and it also tightens this up so that if I need to raise or lower the tank for any reason, this is secure and tight, and then I can just remove the nut on the outside, and once that's done, there'll be enough flexibility in this to move it back and forth so I can then drop the tank. Hopefully I don't ever have to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that, I hope. So we'll see. As you can see, there's not a lot of clearance on this one between the tank and the underbody storage. I was hoping there would be more, but again, I made my tolerances too tight and I screwed up. So I also got to these are the battle scars from trying to get this thing in. Most of this happened on the other side, not this side, but these are the battle scars from trying to get this thing in. I'm going to clean that up and touch that up. But so all of the stuff that I've just been talking about in these last few segments that you've seen, this all happened yesterday on Sunday. Everything in the video prior to that happened on Saturday. My goal was to get this thing in, get it tied in, get it supported, and be able to show you how that looked and be able to wrap this thing up yesterday and get it out. Well, today's Monday, not Sunday. It was a complete Charlie Foxtrot. Fortunately, it was a saving grace that there was more room on this side than the other side, and I was able to get this tank in. Otherwise, I would have had to call it, kill it, and start all over. But there it is. So I do have one gray water tank installed. The rest of it is going to be the exact same process. I do want to take you and walk you through how I'm going to build out the base frame like I did right here. Show you that, and then we're gonna probably put it on time lapse, do a little bit of MIG welding, and then wrap this up and get her out. So at any rate, I do have one gray water tank installed, and it is tied in to the plumbing and ready to accept water. Got to get the other one in so I can tie in my drain outlets and get that set up, but that is like minutes of work as opposed to hours of work. So looking forward to getting to the point where I can do that. Once I get the other one in, get everything tied in, get everything braced, I will do a part 3 to this that will just be an update. It'll be a short video that shows you how I pull everything together and what I did to make sure this doesn't go anywhere and it doesn't move. So let's go look at building a base frame. All right, here is the base frame for my next tank. It is much narrower than the other one. It's going to be a challenge for me to insulate it the way I did on the other side. I've got everything. I just want to point out, because I'm welding, I did a lot of grinding and sanding and got this down to bare metal, because this stuff had rust and cladding and all that kind of stuff on it. It is down to bare metal, so I'm hoping that will assist in getting a good weld process on this. I did the same thing on the last time, on the last base as well, and I think the biggest challenge that I always ran into was, did I have the right settings? And I don't know that I even do now, but I got some advice from a friend of mine that does welding, and he told me some things to try, so I'm going to try them and see. But I've got my ground clamp clamped to a clear spot on this, which will come down to here, give me the ground that I need. I'm going to start right here in this corner. First thing I'm going to do is do some spot welds to hold it in place. Once I get the spot welds in place, then I'll go back and try to lay a bead and get a good solid weld on this stuff. We'll see how it works. Once I get everything on top welded and in place, then I will turn it over and do the same thing on the bottom side and get that welded, so it'll be welded on top and on bottom. Same thing I did on the other one. Again, guys, I am no expert on MIG welding, never done this before, still trying to learn, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works. I did it before, I can probably do it again, but don't criticize me if I don't do it right, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you that right now. So let's see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on time lapse. I do want to show you though, one of the things that I've done is I've used my square, and I've put my square up here, and that is square. So as long as nothing moves, I've got this edge clamped down so that it can't move. Here is my torch. I need to trim my wire. You're supposed to keep the wire about 3/8 of an inch long, so I need to trim that back. You'll probably be seeing me do that every once in a while on time lapse, because I have a challenge of not letting go of the trigger soon enough, and I keep getting long wire feed, so I have to keep cutting them down. There's my welding machine. It's an Asuno. My son gave it to me. He gave it to me with the wire already installed. He gave me a welding helmet. He gave me gloves. Gave me everything that I needed to use it. I really appreciate that. And this is actually the second time that I've used this machine. I'm happy with it. It was a very cheap Amazon buy. I've watched a lot of videos and reviews on how to use them and stuff, and nobody really has any major issues with them. I mean, obviously they're not professional MIG welders, but this is set up specifically and exclusively as a flux core welder, which is fine by me, because I don't want to invest in a whole bunch of gas bottles and all of that stuff to do MIG welding with gas. This works for what I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing. Works for me. So I did adjust some settings based on some feedback that I have. We'll see how that works. You might see me playing with it to try to change it. I'm trying to find the right settings that will allow me to weld 1/8 inch steel together correctly. So if you're watching this and you know how to use this machine or one similar and know what those settings should be, please tell me and help me get at least the machine right. Even if my experience is not right, at least I know the machine is not the problem, and the rest of it is all on me. So first thing I'm going to do is do some tack welds to hold everything in place. And then once I get the tack welds in and I know that it's not going to move, then I'll go back and try to do the beads. Again, I said try, but we'll see how it works. You'll probably see me going over things several times, trying to get a good bead, because like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So I am going to figure out a place to put the camera, put it on time lapse, and see what we can do to show you how bad I can screw up some welding. So let's get after it. this, I still need to do a little bit of cleanup before I can prime and paint it, but I just wanted to show you how it came together. My welds are ugly, guys, but they're holding. It's solid. It's not going anywhere. This is the inside. I tried to clean up the corners, but that's not proven to be very effective. Showing you some of the other stuff. As you can see right here, I did get good heat penetration on the weld, so not worried about that. On the back side, cleaned it up as much as I could. Not pretty, but it's holding. It's solid. On the ends where I did the weld across here, that cleaned up really nicely. Same thing here. This was too big of a gap to even remotely try to fill. Got a good weld there. Not pretty, but it's solid and it's holding. So come down to the other side. Same thing here. I cleaned it up. I've got good holding welds. They're not pretty again, but they are holding. I'm going to clean all of this stuff up with a wire brush and stuff so that I can prime and paint it, and that's the next step. So I just wanted to show you how I did this. This is the only thing in the construction of the water tank that you have not seen so far. So at this point, I think I'm going to call this one a wrap. Close out this video and get it out. Part 2 is done. One of the things that I do want to share with you is one of the biggest challenges that I had in working yesterday is that for some reason wasps love to create nests underneath the bus. So guys, be careful out there if you're working under your bus. All the little nooks, crannies, cubby holes, there's wasp nests likely to be under there. I found one yesterday trying to do the water tank install, or actually Saturday trying to do the water tank, or Sunday, yeah, yesterday trying to do the water tank install. Found it quite by accident. One of the wasps was climbing around on the underbody storage, and then when that happened, I saw the nest. I have actually sprayed no less than 4, maybe 5 wasp nests underneath the bus, just in the area where my water tanks are. Haven't looked anywhere else because I'm not working there, so I don't care, but where I'm working at, I got to get rid of them because I'm allergic. So be careful when you're under your bus. Make sure you look at that. Make sure you take care of that. Don't get stung. Don't get attacked because you're working and disturbing their home. I mean, it's only fair. They are animals, or insects, and they're just protecting their home, but their home is invading your space. So I just wanted to share that with you. So at this point, I am ready to start drilling and building on the next water tank. This is much narrower than the last one, so hopefully this will go in. The bottom part doesn't matter because it's going to be down below the frame rail and the underbody storage. Top part is what matters, and what I'm planning on doing is doing a basically a trapezoid type configuration on this. Narrow on the top, wider on the bottom, and as I raise it in, it will shoehorn in and get really tight and hold itself in place, and hopefully that works. But I got to get it narrow enough to get past those bolt heads. So with that, I think I'm going to make this one a wrap. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe, please give me some comments, and if you know anything about MIG welding, flux core MIG welding, and have this machine or know how to use this machine, please give me some insight on my settings. This is what I was using right now. This is where it was set. This does seem to work better than my last settings based on the feedback I got from my friend. But I'm not getting really good penetrating welds, and not penetrating, but smooth welds. And so I'm concerned that whether it's my experience or whether it's a machine setting, once I know the machine is set right, then I can work on the technique and the process to get the welds right. But I just need to figure out and make sure that my machine is set right so that I can start working on that. But that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed it. I will do a part 3 update once I get everything installed, once I get everything tied in, once I get everything plumbed up and fastened down and secured down so it don't move and all of that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. Please like, please subscribe. There's a lot more coming, guys. I've got a lot of stuff done that I haven't even done a video yet, and that's the next step in the process. So I will see you soon.